Awesome. All right, I'm gonna drop a raid on Alice. As she is staying live. Get your butts over there, guys, and make sure you follow. If you're not following Alice already, what the fuck are you doing?
All right.
Bird surgery link is in chat as well, guys. If you want to throw a few bucks to Bird.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it immensely. All right, I'm gonna send my raiders on over.
All right, see you later, guys, and enjoy the rest of your stream, Alice.
Thank you.
Have fun, Alice.
See you guys later.
See ya. Bye.
All right. Hello, people. Hello. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and finish 999 today. I think we're at the very end. I had to like run away at the very end last time. So I'm just getting that set up right now. I can find where my stuff is. Oh my god. Oh, yep, I did go watch D&D. Which, by the way, was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. There's my controller. Everything is such a mess right now. Yeah, I thought it was really fun. It had just like kind of the right amount of well, you know, just about everything. So it was cool. I enjoyed that very much. Okay. Now you're gonna see a little bit of other stuff because even though I tell it only capture the one thing, it doesn't. Okay, where are you now? Find my zero escape. There we go. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. Also, before I forget, we're going to be... I need to change my thing. That is what I need to change. Editing the stream info. For zero escape. Okay. Okay, it won't let me edit my tags, but that's okay. Oh, why won't you let me edit my stream info? Why do you suck? Okay, I just won't touch my tags and everything will be fine. Alright, I'm just gonna leave the stream info failed to update. Oh, well, screw you too. Fine, whatever. People can still think I'm playing Sons of the Forest. It's fine. I don't care anymore. I've stopped caring. Twitch, you're being dumb. Alright. So. Anyway. We're in the library now. Which is, I believe, the last puzzle room. There's one more puzzle, but this is the last one. Ooh, well, hopefully that goes well with your landlord.
It's totally full of books!
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
All right, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
As I recall, there's some weird stuff
Very well.
here.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time.
Really
Hurry.
obscure book puzzles. Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge. As he began his search for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Okay. There's a note on that table.
Lights to the books. Huh. What does that mean?
I would love a library this big. I would like kill for a library that big. Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what, maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next. They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself.
That's horrible.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Not at all. I live in the darkness, yes. But that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. Yeah, no, books and tea. I have an enormous amount of tea. Alright,
Paleontology. This one's about fossils, right? Ammonites are pretty nasty looking.
No, they're adorable. What are you talking about? Those are super cute. This one says transition of extinct species. We need to hurry it up, or we're going to end up in the pages of a book like that. Introduction to geology, huh? Thinking about the Earth, even when you're on the ocean. Kind of romantic in a way, I guess. Theories of the Cambrian explosion. Did a bomb go off near somewhere called Cambria? No, that is the life explosion. Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why that happened is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. Yeah, we have a nice, tea room where I live, and I go there probably about once a month with some of my family. And it's so good, and they have such good tea mixes. But I have, in my office, I have, my actual office, I have a whole drawer full of tea. And then at home, I have a whole bookcase shelf full of tea. It's 2 bookcase shelves, actually. The theory of evolution. Heck, even I know this one. This is the Darwin guys, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth his theory of evolution. It's a terrible read, honestly. It's really boring. I had to read it for a biology class. And take notes, and it sucked. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. Mother Nature. Is this some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not, except perhaps tangentially. It's most likely about environmental protection. I was just trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? Okay, this has been a waste of a shelf. There we go. What's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish.
Hey, what if we, switch them around?
Switch them around?
Yeah.
More spices is always a good thing. I like to cook with spices.
If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a shot. Open here, find bulb. Yay! How about this? Ooh, lemon bar. Looks like putting it opened this thing right up. Hey, that was a piece of cake.
Hooray! You did it, Junpei.
I guess that turned out well enough.
So the letters from the title spell out, open here, find bulb.
Yes. Exciting. No, that's just that. I'm gonna guess there is nothing else of importance there. Energy theory, huh? I don't even understand the damn title. Looks like this shelf's all science and technology. Kitab al-Azif. Man, they've got some weird stuff here. I can't even pronounce this one.
Who's that? Some famous guy?
It's not a person's name. It's the name of a fictional book created by Abul al-Hazred. It's said to be one of the sources used in the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. Ooh, Cajun spices are good. I like Korean spices, honestly. That's kind of been my go-to right now. So, like, Korean barbecue kind of stuff.
Oh, these are all occult books and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess there's really not anything here. Okay, well, let's turn around and stare at the other shelves. No, that's the light bulb shelf. So this should all be the same stuff we just looked at. Handrails made of metal. Probably a wise choice of building material. Kids book here? Well, it looks like it's a children's story about Native Americans.
Huh. Don't you think a random book like that is kind of suspicious? Maybe you ought to hold on to it.
Oh yeah, the occult books totally are interesting. I just don't think there was anything on that shelf that can get us anywhere.
Look, this one says Cultural Heritage of Rome.
But that's gotta be serious inheritance tax. I feel like... Oh, look, this one says ritual on it.
What's Hellenism?
I think it's something like a fusion of Greek and Oriental culture. Yeah, the problem is all these shelves look kind of alike. And it's a real problem when you're trying to figure out which ones have something important on them.
This one, it looks just like that picture book from earlier. The one with the pop-ups.
You think they're part of a series or something? They do have the same binding. Okay, let's go downstairs. The Pythagorean theorem. This is a famous one. Sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. Dakind, Owen, Liebernese, and Sheldrake. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? Dadkind? What the hell is this? Oh, there's we kind of did the book switch puzzle, I think. Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Liebernese?
This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something.
I've never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know.
Sheldrake.
Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... That name was very familiar.
That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. That's funny.
Why is that funny?
It says Riemann hypothesis. What's there to hypothesize about a Riemann? Isn't it pretty straightforward?
Heavens no, there are many factors, length, girth, lubrication, or lack thereof. It's an exciting and rapidly growing field.
Whoa!
This one's Gold Box Conjecture. Conjecture? What's it about? Like magic or physics stuff or something? Psychic stuff? Right now I bet it's about jewelry, isn't it? It may have an odd title, but it's actually a very respectable mathematics book. It deals with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory. Sorry I said anything. Let's not get into this right now, okay? Alright. Full of math books. Algebraic number theory. Math, huh? There's another one like that over here. You mean something like primary number theory, or analytical number theory, or geometry?
Oh my gosh, how did you know? Nobody said anything about those.
Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. If there was a book named Algebraic Number Theory, I took a wild guess that the other 3 would be there as well. Looks like I was right. Okay. It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look kind of like music stands. Am I supposed to put something on those stands? Yes we are, but we don't have all 3 books yet. Books here in all sorts of languages, but there's something suspicious about the shelf on the left. Okay. This one? This bookshelf has sort of a glass inlay. It's pretty big, but there are only 6 books on it. So that seems kinda weird.
Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. I can't really see it though. The glass is all foggy.
Alright. That's a lock. And, I bet I don't have the combo for that. Do I? I bet I don't. Not yet, anyway. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. So many books here. I wonder what this one's... Whoa, what's this? Worm?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with this sappy stuff? Modern Japanese literature, huh? Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know? Brings back good memories.
I guess even people like 7 were kids once.
No shit, you little brat. Hey guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me. Got a magic wand on it, okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside, smart at- Whoa. Do the same thing with this one. And then this one. It's going to say Sheldrake 5. That's what it is going to say. And that will have the combo. So we put the picture books on the stand.
It's a little weird.
And then there are 3 lights in this thing. They aren't very bright though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it in one of those lights?
Yeah. Well, it'll get a lot brighter, but...
But if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 bulbs. We need 3 light bulbs, huh? See, the downside is I think I can't just come over here and say, I want Sheldrake 5. Even though I know that's what it is. It won't let me do it yet because I haven't solved the puzzle. Okay, I don't really think there's anything else down here. So we'll go back upstairs. And start clicking on shelves. Hellenism, Permian creatures, seems a little fancy for some kind of prehistoric critter. Not to mention most of them were likely reptiles and amphibians. Without hair, I can't imagine they had much need of perms. That's got nothing to do with this. Also, they've mostly been birds, not so much reptiles. Cultural history, history of Buddhism.
History of the medieval period. Maybe it's about Sir Lancelot?
Isn't he just a story? I don't think you're gonna find a guy who didn't really exist in a history book.
Oriental history. Maybe this one's about China's 4,000 years of history or something?
Hey, Chinese history and Oriental history aren't the same thing. History of the Western world. Well, I'd assume it's about European history. Yeah. Just gonna leave it at that, Snake. Doesn't seem like you. Hey, look at this. This book's called Greek Mythology. Damn, that thing's huge. Can't imagine anyone's actually read the whole thing. Pretty sure it just put me to sleep. Okay, so there wasn't anything on that shelf. What do we got here? Principles of Monkey Behavior, huh? I'd imagine that's a book describing praxeology studies on monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans evolutionarily, so I imagine the research was fruitful.
Oh, Oh, look, Seven. Here's a book that's perfect for you. It's called Correlation of Muscle, Bone Density, and Bone Strength.
The stream title does still say Sons of the Forest. It was giving me errors when I was trying to change it. It wouldn't let me change it. It's like, I can't do it for you. It was actually really annoying. Let me see. Maybe it was just unhappy. Let me see. Also, I think I missed Rosalia Rose. Thank you for following me. And thank you for the resub love. Sorry I missed that one. I really, really appreciate the 28 months. And also, Flaragon? Flaragron? I'm totally butchering that, and I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow. Let me see if I can update it now. Maybe if I refresh it enough times, it will actually let me do this. Oh, good. It does now. Now it'll let me do this. Single player. History. Visual novel. And 100%. There we go. All right, now the stream title should be updated. It just wouldn't let me do it right away. No, it was like Twitch itself. I was on like the Twitch dashboard and it wouldn't let me do it. It's really annoying. Anyway. Now that we're back. Yes, also, for whatever reason, it's not showing me your resub, love. I only saw that through the Twitch dashboard itself. OBS just is like not showing that. It's great. So glad everything is so connected perfectly well. You're just saying that because it says muscle. Okay. This book is just called Dissection. This bookshelf must be all medical books. From what I can tell, it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. This library must be massive. I'm rather impressed by how well organized it is. Ancient Gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they were researching human physical limits across history? Oh, this one's called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. Or Recreation, not recreation. Different. You think they're talking about if you, like, lose part of your body, then you could grow it back? I don't think so. Maybe they're talking about reconstructing abilities that humankind once possessed? In other words, they may be talking about cultivating a sixth sense. Dissection Atlas, huh? This whole shelf is full of medical books. Alright, I think we've hit all of them. Functions of the human brain, huh? Guess this is a book about the nervous system? I'd love to ask you to read it to me, but I don't think we have the time.
I'm kind of curious about it too. There's got to be a reason why people connect with each other, you know?
Aren't any other books that look suspicious? Human equilibrium theory. Human anatomy.
Regeneration of internal organs.
Alright, that was an enlightening shelf of nothing. Hold on. No, those are all still the same books. Okay. This one is a different set. Automated robotic assembly line techniques, huh?
What's that? Some sort of comic book? Geez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh?
No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. This was the problem I had with the library, was figuring out what shelves I need to look at. Communication and computer science, huh? That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague, I don't really know what it might be about. What's that one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering? An overview of photochemistry?
I think whoever set this up wanted us to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay?
Ah, there's a light bulb here. Looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books.
Look, Junpei! I think there's something hidden behind the books.
Photochemistry. Light. Go figure. Yeah, a production line does not have to be automated. You can totally use a production line. It's not automated. All right, did we look at all the shelves here? Principles of monkey behavior. Okay, so that's that shelf again. This book is called A Mind Swap.
You mean you could, like, change bodies with someone? Well, I guess I wouldn't mind switching bodies with my brother or Junpei too much, but I'd rather die than let Seven switch with me.
What the hell? Like I'd even want to swap bodies with a little brat like...
Hey, were you just imagining it? You were!
Shut up. Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. This bookshelf's full of occult stuff like Kitab Azazif.
This one says The Golden Rabbit and the Moon on it. Does that mean it's about a rabbit that lives on the moon? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's the moon stuff about?
It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon, according to Chinese legend. Teletemporation and telepathy. What the hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teletemporation. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. Well, interesting, but not exactly helpful. Paleontology, Mother Nature, I think we already looked at all of these. Micrographia, huh? Ah yes, Robert Hooke's famous work, first published in 1665. He built a microscope and examined insects, inorganic substances, and other things too small to be seen in detail by human eyes. Mochi bunny sounds delicious right now, I'm so hungry. He then drew pictures of many of the things he'd examined and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess that this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe you should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's ancestors most likely lost their tails as they were no longer useful and the nutrients required to grow them were better put to use elsewhere. At least that's what I read. I was rather young, I may have remembered it incorrectly. Huh? Why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? Creatures of the South Seas, huh? I wonder if this one's got pictures of colorful fish and stuff. Well, did it? Don't leave me hanging, Junpei. Okay. Mind swap. I think these are all the same ones, right? All that's here is Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Hey, Pondwater. How's it going? I believe that's going to be about electrolysis in an electrolyte solution. These particular laws were set down by Michael Faraday.
Quantum gravity. Seven, do you have any idea what this is?
How about you start by using real words? Then maybe we'll get somewhere. Are property values going out in space too these days? Man, guess times are tough for aliens too.
This one says cosmic inflation.
Supersymmetric string theory and 10-dimensional space-time. They're just talking about superstring theory. It's a theory of reality where, how to explain? It says that all elements of the universe are governed by the vibrations and harmonics of tiny supersymmetric strings. What's this? An overview of conformal field theory. Well, it's a theory that posits an invariant quantum field where conformal transformation can take place. Knock it off with this science voodoo stuff. You trying to put me to sleep? Theory of general relativity, huh?
Oh, I know about this one. That's Einstein, right?
Alright, I don't think there's anything else we can look at. Ugh. Shelves full of books on science and technology, things like energy theory. So I can't even look at that shelf. Okay, what am I missing? Lights to the books. Yes, yes. I am missing a light bulb. Why does that look like it's still got a light bulb there? There's got to be something else downstairs. I think. Shelf is math books. I think we looked at all of these. Yeah. So these ones we looked at: Japanese culture, agricultural and historical organizations and folklore. What's this? Origin of Japanese folklore? Looks like there are a bunch of books about Japanese culture here. Mostly ones about folklore, though. Well, folklore can cover a wide range of subjects. History, urban life, religious trends, environmental changes, oral traditions. Folklore can cover all of those things if you know where to look.
This looks pretty deep.
Yeah, agreed. There are a bunch of books on folklore and myth here. Okay, so we can't look at that shelf either. This one just says, oh, the shelf over here is interesting. No, I didn't want to... Damn it. I just wanted to look at the shelf. I guess I can't? Still short a light bulb, right? Oops. It's my file. Oh, that's my inventory. Yeah, I only have 2 light bulbs. Where's my other light bulb? Does one of them have one in it already? I don't have any more light bulbs, so I need to have all 3 light bulbs. Where's the other one? I guess it's probably in here, right? The middle of the glass door is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you got the right ones to open it? What the hell is this? It's like they just gave us the answer. I guess I might as well give it a shot. Did they give us the answer? Oh. 632415. Four 415. 632415. 2 4 1 5. Yeah, there we go.
You did it, Junpei! Yay!
I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? There's my last light bulb, yeah? There it is. I forgot the combo was like right there on the books. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, those are out of order. Now we should light this up, and now it tells me Sheldrake 5. Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy.
There's something projecting on the bottom.
These letters, they seem familiar.
Oh, really? Really?
It says Sheldrake on the spine of this book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Oh, are you kidding me? I have to look at the shadow.
Sheldrake 5?
Fell into an abandoned rabbit hole on the internet. Oof.
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
There's a
Oh,
British
that's right.
biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic
Which,
resonance.
go figure. That's why we're looking at his stuff.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
Life-threatening danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
Well, she thought you were dead at the time.
You did? Why?
Well,
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Ugh. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything. But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
Can we, like, get at the book first, though? No? Okay, fine.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she
Probably would
told
be
you.
good.
That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that
Here we
Santa
go.
is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment.
I also feel sure that he really couldn't do that in the first place.
And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Hey, Snake?
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yes, this is very important. We should figure this out.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see.
Sheldrake is still alive. Well, that's an interesting thing I didn't expect to find out. Not surprised on the wingnut stuff, though.
The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations. And the girl that died during the experiment.
2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
She told you all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Go figure. At least 2 of the people that have died have definitely been involved in that, but, yeah.
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo, Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido.
Yes, those names all sound familiar. We found them on a piece of paper. In a different universe.
Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Also known as Ace.
Nijisaki was his right-hand man, and did the lion's share of the planning.
And based on that hair was the person that was executed in Snake's place.
Kubota led the company's research and development division.
He kind of looks like the ninth man.
Musashido was their majority stockholder.
He looks also vaguely familiar. Perhaps like an executed captain.
It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonori Project.
Yeah, it's very important when building a house that, you pay attention and you know what you're doing. At least take some basic safety precautions. There's, all sorts of things that can go terribly, terribly wrong.
The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field.
Trying to tap into all that human knowledge.
Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produce the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before.
Well, see, there's a problem with that, because if that was the case, we'd all passed our certified testing together. If people knew the answers to the tests, more people knew the answers, surely by the time you hit the West Coast, the grades would be better.
Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer.
Yeah, I really think I'd do better on standardized tests if, this was a thing.
That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
Yep.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding.
Yeah, they might be higher, but not significantly higher, and still wouldn't result in me doing a handstand because, yeah, I can't, so I would fall on my neck and kill myself if I tried that, so no, that's not really an option.
Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, If there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Yeah, never let facts get in the way of a good story. Yep.
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands?
Oof.
What would happen then?
Yeah, it's more like a smell trigger, a memory you don't have. Yeah.
A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Scary? Yeah, same thing, love. Pretty sure if I wanted to do a handstand, I'd know there's something really wrong.
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought.
We must do an experiment.
That was why they decided to do their experiment.
Yes, this involves, children in mortal peril, but this is a perfectly fine experiment,
That
yes.
was how the Nonary Project began. By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
Yes, why the movie Push was called Push. Yeah. Exactly.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary Project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret.
Ah, of course. Of course.
Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered.
Oh, no. But, who needs volunteers?
They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total.
And we know part of this was Lotus's 2 daughters were taken, her twins.
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly.
Wait, do they understand now about that, or do they not?
As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger.
And how exactly did he ethically come to these conclusions? I'm guessing very unethically.
Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind?
God, I wish it did. No, usually it's just come back to it a week later.
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted.
Yep.
Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in.
Yes.
They set up a number of puzzles
Ethics are
across the
secondary,
Gigantic.
right?
The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger.
Floaty bracelets?
He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were
Oh,
forced
no.
to play the nonary game as the ship sunk.
No, he did this not just the appearance of danger. He literally blew a hole in their ship. Perfect. This seems like a very controlled experiment.
By forcing the children into a life or death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the
He
puzzles
just wanted
and
them
escape.
to think very, very hard.
But if you fail,
Okay.
then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown.
I mean, this seems like a terribly set up experiment in that there isn't any control group, and there's just almost no control on any of the variables here.
Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical.
She could.
Everything was just
Swap
like the
things
real
around.
Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in.
Yeah, it costs a lot to sink an antique cruise ship. Also, if you had that, why would you make it permanently sink for one experiment? Because then you can't repeat the experiment, which means you can't validate your results. So, yeah.
By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children
Well,
from
I guess
Group
when you have
Q
that
had to use the
much
power
money,
of Epiphany to
You don't
solve
care
the puzzles they
if
found
you send it all to the bottom of the ocean.
and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage.
Yeah, I guess it does have the bonus of evidence disposal.
That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Huh.
That's it, Junpei?
Hey,
Huh.
Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here and soon.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Hmm?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Well, Apollo, they had the radio, so they could transmit the information back and forth, but, yeah, not through invisible, psychic fields.
Oh,
And
yes.
children.
That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children.
But nobody cared.
However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi.
Owie. Got it.
The sister's name was... Her name was Akane. That was the girl who died.
Huh. 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 So if Akane is dead, who have we been walking around with?
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago?
I mean, I guess
Then
it's an
Who's
assumption.
June?
to say that her name was Akane, and she just happens to be the same Akane.
No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name.
Yeah, exactly.
If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
It's okay, I almost had a heart attack. I was walking around with a ghost all day.
No, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right? I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
Yeah, Junpei, you really need to ask that question. It's a little important. Okay, can I look at the book now? Also, Clover and Seven, what have you been doing? Can you, like, pull the book out, please? Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to.
But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture?
Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Yeah, what were you two doing while we were having this conversation? Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. I guess we should press this button.
Flap.
I need a library with moving shelves, too. Definitely. Oh, this is the awesome Roman numeral puzzle. And I say awesome slightly sarcastically.
What was that sound?
It sounded like something really big was moving.
It came from the top floor.
Alright, let's go check it out. It'd be great if you just went and checked it out on your own, Junpei, and you didn't just, like, make me have to do it for you. Okay. So we have 13, 14, 10, 13. It spells dead. There's a keyboard in front of the numbers, and there are 4 Roman numerals on the wall. It's gotta be a hint of some sort. Those are all Roman numerals.
Do you think we just need to put in the numbers from the wall on the keyboard?
No, you can't. The keyboard doesn't have any number keys. You can't type stuff in like 3 or 4. It's because that's DEAD in hexadecimal. Yeah. Then that means... Can I look at the keyboard?
Well, I bet you've got to type something on that keyboard.
Yeah, but you can only enter letters.
And it looks like you can only enter 4 letters.
Let's see how it works. I guess you need to enter once you type in the letters. And you can erase what you typed with clear. Perfect. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Perfect. There we go.
Yay! You did it, Junpei. It's unlocked now.
Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember?
Well, it's hard to spell a lot of other things when you're only dealing with, you know, 6 letters of the alphabet. So what? Geez, you're such an old lady.
I don't know what enters the spacebar. I was just thinking that myself when I was typing it in.
We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on. We got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go. Hurry up.
All right. Let's get this thing open. Spacebar is confirm in CAD. I guess it is the biggest button on the keyboard. Ah, you found it.
All right, this is the next.
The door!
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see.
There's one more puzzle room, isn't there? There's like the workshop.
Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
That's okay.
Is there any other way out?
There's another door over on the right. There's a card reader
True,
next to
Snake
it.
needed to be unconscious. They also couldn't have him popping up and appearing and making Ace go, I thought I killed you.
It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
That'd be great.
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey! Wait a minute! Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Well, it's better than looking for one little key.
Oh, man.
This is not as terrible as it seems.
Looks that way.
No way!
For real?
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer.
Exactly.
I rather doubt that, however, so it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then, let's begin.
Hop 2, people. I mean, Junpei's gonna solve everything on his own, but let's hop 2. Chop chop. Let's get going. Okay. I don't know that I would call this a study. There are piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess.
It's so messy. I don't know where to start.
Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts from the puzzles we've solved in the other rooms. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the machines and puzzles he'd need to see his plan come to fruition. Okay, we could start by opening drawers.
Hey, Junpei, isn't this a nautical table?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before.
Look, Junpei, the rest on here looks like Elvis's face.
Yeah. How exciting.
There's some old computer monitors on this desk.
You don't see CRT monitors that much anymore. I can see some sort of big machine on the other side of all this crap. There's a control panel in front of the big screen here. I wonder if any of these buttons do anything. There's something on the screen now. Aha! Well, you know what I have? The answer to this puzzle. What's this? There are 15 cells here with numbers and letters in them? Let me see that. Oh, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the one next to it turn on or off. You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and the button bottom green.
Hey, Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You want to take a look at it? Do you think this might have something to do with the puzzle?
It's a piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said, this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Alright, let's go back and try that again. Anyway, it looks like I just need to make all the cells all green. Where's my paper? Oh, that's not helpful. Okay. Shoot. And then... Damn it. Let's reset that one. I know which ones need to be off, but... Whether I can remember how I need to do that or not is a difficult question. Almost. Damn it. Okay. So I have which ones need to be off on this one, but what I don't have, unfortunately, is the okay, the study. I don't remember the movements. Five center square, then D. 5. There we go.
You did it, Junpei. You're so smart.
You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. I think normally I just sort of click on things until they all go away, but I don't have the patience for that right now. I think there is a way for me to know what moves to make if I stop and think about it, but I don't want to stop and think about it. Hey, come on, you're embarrassing me. Whoa, whoa, don't get cocky, kid. We don't got time for that. Look at this. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid slid open and something came out. Ah, yes, one of our shields. Lovely. Okie dokie. This is where we're gonna put them, so I'm not gonna look at that right now. You are the compass things, for which I need... probably the map. This monitor is part of this machine. It's really dim, though. It's got a map of the world on it, but I can barely see it.
Junpei, it looks like there's a compass on here.
Oh, now I get it.
What do you mean?
I guess you weren't there, Clover, but I solved a puzzle like this one in the wheelhouse. I think I just need to do the same thing here.
The same thing?
The important part is this nautical table we just found. I just have to match up the directions on the compass with the lines on the nautical table. I used the steering wheel in the wheelhouse, but this time I think I'm going to use the wheel attached to the side here.
Okay then, show me, now.
Of course. Maybe I ought to run through the instructions. This looks like it probably works the same way the steering wheel in the wheelhouse did. If I just touch the direction I want it to turn, the compass will turn that direction. Then I just gotta press stop when the compass is pointing where I want it to. I'm betting something will happen if I do it right. Alright, let's do this. Alright, let's look at our chart. So, south, west, southeast. Scribble this down while I'm thinking about it. It's south, west, southeast, northeast, east, north, and then east. Okay. All right. South. West. Southeast. Northeast. East. North. And east again. There we go. Okay.
Yay, you did it, Junpei. Good boy. Who's a good boy?
Ah, knock it off. Hey, we don't have time for screwing around right now. Check out the right side of the monitor. Just kind of slid open and something came out. Oh, yeah.
I heard a noise too. You know that big box in the hall by the exit? I think it made a noise. Like something unlocking, you know?
A noise, huh? Alright, well, we'll take that. And we'll walk over to this puzzle. Although before I do this puzzle. The metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. Alright, let's open it. Holy shit. That is pretty damn creepy. There's a coffin in here. Coffin. Coffin. Oh man, does Seven think... Yeah, he's all pale. He's thinking the same thing I am. No way. Could this be...
I'm sorry, but what's going on? It's a coffin. I wonder if there's a vampire in it.
Right, I guess Clover and Snake don't know the story. Have I drank? As in, have I drank liquid? Yes. Have I drank alcohol? No. I'm just kind of tired. My voice is a little off. Man, I can't bring myself to tell him. Well, at any rate, let's have a look around. There's a metal plaque on the coffin. Snake's touching it. All ice. Ah, the two machines. Gulp. Holy shit. Man, this is serious. Oh well, let's open it, shall we? Clover, if you could give me a hand.
Okay, I got it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ha! Oh. No luck. It doesn't seem to be ready to open.
Yeah, but it's not like it's screwed shut or something.
Yes, I believe it's locked in some other way.
Hey, Seven, you think you could open it up with your superhuman strength?
No,
What's wrong?
I think I'll pass on this one, okay?
What the heck?
Very well, we just have to give up on the coffin for now. Let's look around the room a little more, shall we? Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic. Is that actually true? Yeah, so the other thing is it's been like super windy where I live, and it's kicked up a lot of dust in the last week or so, and that's like really made allergies awful. Well, let's see what happens when I... Whoa! Well, now we got something on the screen at least. Huh? What is this? Oh, wait a minute. I saw something like this when I figured out that Morse code puzzle back in the communications office. Morse code? Yeah. The dots on here look like the dits for Morse code. There's 2 dots on the first line, 4 on the second, and 1 on the last. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, perhaps you should give it a shot anyway. Alright, I'll try. Before I do that, though, maybe I ought to run through the instructions. If I just tap the button, it'll enter a dit. If I hold the button down, it'll enter a da. Once we enter our answer, it'll automatically determine if it was the correct answer or not. Alright, let's do this. No, it didn't like that. I think it spells ice. Oh, so I'm missing a thing. Probably. A steel cabinet with a double door. I am missing... Does that look there? I'm missing the paper that tells me what the Morse code letters are. I think. There it is! There's something written on these pieces of paper. Looks like we've got 3 sheets of the stuff. Okay. File screen. Yes, thank you. I don't need a description of what Morse code is. So it is ... dash ... and then dot. I can do this. Yes, I figured it out. Yeah. If you could stop talking, I would like to enter in my thing before I forget it. Please. Please. Please, game. Ugh. Yep. Seems you solved the puzzle. Excellent work. The answer was ice. How did you know? All I had to do was listen to the sounds the machine made. After that, it was a trivial matter to decode them. Ah, yes. I believe I heard a noise from somewhere on the right of the device after you solved the puzzle. Appreciate you guys helping me out on that one, because sometimes they, like, take too long, like, trying to re-explain the puzzle to you because they think you don't know what you're doing, and it's like, no, I know what I'm doing. Just give me a chance to, like, get there, guys, before you tutorial me. It sounded rather like something sliding open. Do you see anything that could have made that noise? Yeah, that's true. Ah, yes, one more thing. I heard a sound from behind the shutter. Perhaps the coffin is unlocked now. What? Yeah, they start throwing all these other letters and numbers out at you as part of their description, and you're just like, please stop telling me all this other information. I'm gonna lose the stuff I have. Alright, fine. I'll open it. Okay, Junpei, you can do this. It's just a box. It's just a box. It wouldn't be her anyway because that is a Western-style coffin and not an Egyptian-style coffin. But moving on from that. Holy shit, this is a coffin. There's going to be something horrible in there. I just know it. Okay, deep breaths. Here we go. Oh man, there's nobody in there. Shit, can't believe I was scared of something like that.
What do you mean, nobody? Were you expecting someone to be in there?
It's a long story. Ask Junpei about it sometime. Well, just like Seven said, there's nobody in there. There is something in there, though. Well, two somethings, actually. What is that? Ah, lovely. There are two things on the bottom of the coffin. Looks like we've got a plate with an emblem on it, and...
The Neptune key! Yes, we finally found it! Now we can get through the hallway.
That's correct, Clover. But we do need to get out of this room first, you know?
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get the hell out of here as quickly as possible.
I don't have any objections to that. I don't think we'll use the Neptune key in this room. It's really important, though, so I'll keep it in my pocket for now. And this is where we find out Junpei has a hole in his pocket the entire time. And as far as this other thing goes... Coffin emblem. Alright, Alright, I've put the emblems into the 4 indentations on the desk, but... Huh? Nothing's happening. Wait, what's Snake doing? Now I feel symbols engraved just above each indentation. On the upper left is the steering wheel symbol. On the upper right, the cross symbol. On the bottom left, the mysterious circle symbol. And lastly, the waffle pattern is engraved near the bottom right indentation. Additionally, each symbol seems to have been given a number. 1 steering wheel, 2 cross, 3 mysterious circle, and 4 waffle patterns. Perhaps we need to insert the emblems in this order. That order, huh? Oh, great. I'm gonna have to, like, look at these, aren't I? I guess it was the order we solved the puzzles in? Well, I put the emblem into the indentation, but nothing's happening. They're numbered 1 through 4. And there are symbols for steering wheel, a cross, a weird circle, and some kind of waffle pattern engraved on here. Well, let's just drop the emblem of the steering wheel in here. Whoa. Well, now we've got something on the monitors at least. What's that? Looks like some kind of puzzle.
I wonder if these are the rules. Here, I'll read them to you. When you touch a numbered area, that area will be selected, and it will turn blue to indicate this. Touching a numbered ball after selecting an area will cause that ball to be moved to that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls into a single area. Press the check button once you've moved all the balls except for the red ones, which you cannot move. The digital root of the balls in the area must match the number for that area.
So it's basically the doors. Helm, cross, code, waffle? Still don't really get it. Whatever. Like they say, practice makes perfect. Makes perfect? Maybe. We'll give it a shot. Don't you mean practice makes perfect? Hey! Well, let's see you solve the next one. Then you can make fun of me. Yeah, no one else seems to be doing any work here. Okay, so... what makes 6? That would be 15. And we can't use 9. So 7 and 8 is... God. 7 and 8 is 15. Plus 6 should get us 21, which should get us 3. Yeah, is that too much? Right? 8 and 7 is, yeah, it's 15. 18, 20, 21. Okay, no, it just turned red because it was full. That's what it was. Okay, this is it, right?
But nothing's happening.
There are still 3 more indentations left empty. I imagine something will happen when they're all filled. Doesn't that seem likely? Okay, so it was helm, cross. Okay, let's put in the emblem of the cross. There we go. Hey, Junpei, something just showed up on the screen.
This puzzle sure looks a lot like the last one.
Yeah, but there's more than red balls you can't move.
The numbers for each area are different too.
It looks like it's got the same rules as the last one, though. You sure you don't want to double check that? No, I'll be fine. If I get confused, I can just look at the screen over there, right? Anyway, like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. 1,000 words. Let's give it a shot. Isn't that a picture's worth 1,000 words? Hey, shut it. At least I'm trying, alright? Alright, so we can't use a 1 and a 9. And we're trying to go through the 7 door and the 1 door. So... 7 is probably going to be 18. So that's 9 and 9. This is 14 and that's not gonna work. I already know that's not gonna work. Like, that has to be, in order to be 1, that has to be 10, right? And there has to be 3 people. So to get to 10 off of 3 would be 5, 3, and 2. That gets us to 10. So now this gives us 10 here. And 18. 18 plus 7 is 25. Yeah, that makes 7. Okay, hold on. My brain did the thing where I was like, I clicked the thing. There we go. Got it. That's awesome, Junpei. There's only 2 left now. You can do it. Yes. Thank you for writing that down, love, because I would have totally forgotten what the order was by now. Okay. This would be the code and the other one was last, yeah. Okay, let's put in the emblem of the secret code. Damn, this puzzle looks a lot like the last one. Looks like the rules are the same, though.
Don't you think you should double check it?
Come on, this is the 3rd time I've done this. It'll be fine. So this, if you can't think of anything clever, please don't strain yourself. You might hurt something. Ah, shut up. Just give me a break, alright? I'll think of something. How about you don't say something clever every time and we solve the puzzles faster, huh? Huh? How about that? How about that? Alright, so 7 each. So this will be 2 sets of 16. So... 8, 6, 2, and then 4, 5, 7. Thank you, Brain, for actually doing that one fast this time. Excellent work, Junpei. You've only got one left. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, indeed. So can I. Hurry up. Alright, put the coffin in there. This is the 4th one. This puzzle looks a lot like the last couple.
I think this is probably the last one.
Once we solve this puzzle, I'm sure something will happen. Alright, I'll solve it in no time. Alright, 8 and 9. And there has to be a minimum of 3... No, there has to be... No, there can't be a minimum of 3, otherwise this doesn't work because there's a red one. Huh, like, if... I thought it had to be a minimum of 3, but it has to be a minimum of 2. Right? Huh. Because other, no, actually, everyone can go through the 9 door. It doesn't say you have to put any in every one, actually. There's 5, so they must all go into 9. Right? That's 10. 11 is 21. 26? No, that's 8. They must all go into 8. That's what it is. That's how that works. Okay, okay. Brain died a little bit. Huh? Where'd that noise come from? Underneath the keyboard?
Way to go, Junpei. You answered all the questions.
Damn, Junpei, good job. Hey, did you hear something just now? Yes, I heard that as well. From the bottom left corner of the desk, I believe. Oh, look! A picture. That was perfectly in sync. Thank you, Junpei.
What the hell is this? This man with a mustache on the right. He's the same guy we found murdered in the captain's quarters.
There we go.
He had the zero bracelet on his left arm. And this second man, with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the 9th man. The one with bracelet number 9.
The one who kablamied at the beginning.
He died after he went into door 5. But this guy, the one in the striped suit.
Oh man, that's Ace.
Yeah, I guess it is.
No doubt about it.
I guess they didn't know that. We knew that. They didn't know that in this timeline.
But what does it mean? What is Ace doing in this picture? Not only Ace, the 9th man and Cap too. And they look happy, like they knew each other well. Why? How? How in the world are these 4 men connected?
Well, did they conveniently write names on the back?
You say Ace is in that picture?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken recently though. Ace, the 9th man, and Cap all look about 10 years younger.
Ah, so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see it.
No, there's
Yeah,
one
I
more
should leave
guy.
my desk.
He's got kinda long hair, he looks smart but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize.
It's because his face was blown off in a bathroom.
What's the date of the photograph?
It doesn't have one.
Did you look on the back?
The back?
Yes, the reverse. The other side.
Yes, Junpei, did you flip the picture over, please?
Huh. praying for the success of the Nonary project. With Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido. Then the 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonary game 9 years ago.
Shocking.
That means Ace, the 9th man, and Cap were all responsible for making it happen. But I feel like I should be more shocked about this. It's almost as if that's just how things were always supposed to be. Why? Why am I not surprised? Ace was the one in charge of the Nonary project. But then why? Why am I so calm?
Because it's kind of minor compared to all the other things we've learned today.
It's like I already knew.
Here we go.
Of course.
Crossing
I
timelines.
understand now. Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. He was the one who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo.
Ace is Hongo?
I had my suspicions from the beginning. Their voices were similar. Too similar to be a coincidence. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure, though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him.
And Ace was like, God, how did Snake not recognize me? I swore he would recognize me. So I'm gonna, kill him before he recognizes me. And Snake is like, I think that's him. Maybe. But I can't ask him about it.
Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would have happened if I did.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Huh?
I didn't know that Ace was Hongo.
Oh, yes. I suppose you wouldn't have. 9 years ago, you were in Building Q in Nevada, but Hongo was in the Gigantic with us.
I know. That's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like. But why? Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I apologize for keeping this from you.
It was less important at the moment.
But if I'd told you, Clover, you would have told everyone else. And if you did, then I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that.
Hey, Junpei. You think I could borrow that picture for a sec?
Sure.
Yeah, you gonna get some memories back, Seven?
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido.
Hey, Seven, do you...
Shut it! Just be quiet. I'm this close to remembering. This close. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nonary project.
There we go.
Shit.
What?
What's wrong?
Holy shit, this is nuts.
What's nuts?
I remember
Remember what?
everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I remember all of it. My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got snatched.
What?
Let me tell you what happened.
Everything.
Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo from the right. The other 3 are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Kubota. Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man. And Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory back.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it.
You really want to know?
Of course.
Me too.
This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me a good 3 days to tell you everything.
Okay, like narrow it down to 2 minutes, please.
Well, we don't have 3 days.
Just give us the short version, all right?
Short version, huh? All right, fine. I'll give it a shot. No promises, though.
Please, short version.
I'm a detective. It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me a lone wolf type. I hold to my own code, as I think doing what's right is more important than doing what you're told. That's why I followed my gut that night. A slim lead brought me to the wharf. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had been cold as fuck, and I could barely see squat. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings, all of them children. It all had one thing in common. A history of visits to one particular hospital. A hospital under the management of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. My investigation had turned
wanna
up
know how I
evidence
got
that
those
Cradle had been
scars?
involved in the kidnappings. After a little sweet talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle. My source told me this. Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore. So I headed to the wharf.
You'd think somebody seeing a replica of the Titanic would probably have been big enough news that a few people would have been like, I saw the Titanic down at the dock.
From the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags.
I do think this is partially how he got some of his scars.
Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags.
We've seen a little bit of this when he flashed back in the cells.
I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand.
Don't move.
I felt metal touch the back of my head.
Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. It'd be easy to get away with it, too. Just tie an anchor to your feet, and no one would find you for a week. That what you want? The fish here would love a meal.
This is a good question why they didn't just kill him.
I kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. A needle.
A drug?
That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that.
He woke up, heard kids.
I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink, a toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop.
I mean, there's a privacy screen.
I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but...
All the stuff from the very first playthrough coming back
won't
around.
open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down.
I feel like some of this could have been cut out in the short version.
Huh.
I know
I
they're
sat
wrapping
there
the story
for a
up.
very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5, or 6, maybe more.
Sopril, the new wonder drug.
Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit, but I knew it in my gut.
Yep.
This was where those voices were coming from. Hold up. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
We got there. Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then...
Yes, I feel like unnecessary detail.
I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside. The first bit I saw was tight. I had a wriggle on my belly. It wind up eventually, and there was space for me to crawl along on my hands and knees. I went from crawling like a worm in dirt to skittering like a bug. Couldn't say it was much better, but I'd take what I could get. And when I'd been in the thing long enough to start wondering where it'd take me, a massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal door had just been slammed shut. Then there was a voice.
Oh, good.
What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with incinerator is bad news.
Probably.
Then, almost as if
Probably
that was
very
a
bad
cue,
news.
I heard a mess of young-sounding voices. A bunch of them were straight up screaming in terror. And all the sounds together made a howl that made the hair on my neck stand straight up.
Emergency incineration command taking 18 minutes doesn't seem like it's very much of an emergency incineration.
Damn it! What the hell is going
Just throwing
on
that
here?
out there.
I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant racket, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids were screaming on the other side. I found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is this place? I couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome
Lovely,
on top.
lovely
It had to
incinerator.
be about 9 walls, all the same size. Up in the ceiling was an upside-down funnel, almost like a chimney. I looked down. There they were, the kids I'd been searching for. They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent, for the moment, from surprise and fear. Scared of the room or me, I couldn't tell. Probably both, actually. Not like I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shitless. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kids. Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood there, frozen. Well, except one. He was a boy, slightly older than the others.
He looks kind of
private
familiar,
school
doesn't he?
uniform.
Who the hell are you?
He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. It looked like they relaxed some the second I got the words out.
How are you gonna help us?
Where's the exit?
There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there...
He kind of cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he changed his mind.
Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death.
Burned to death?
He does look better with the blue.
Can't you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up soon. So...
Cue the alarms. Man, 18 minutes
Voice
of these
spoke
alarms
again.
would be rough.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
They only had 15 minutes. I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. No way I could pull them up. Too big of a distance for any of us to reach. What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there. I'm gonna be right back.
Bed sheets.
What? Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here?
They just got frightened again. I'm not the best at that kind of thing, but I tried to reassure them with a smile. Don't worry, all right? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't
Why?
time.
Why does a vent go straight to the incinerator?
I had to hurry. Well, as fast as a guy could on his hands and knees. Didn't take me long to get back to my cell. Still no way out of there, but I had a plan. I needed something from the room. When I got it, I dove back into the hole and took off towards the incinerator. Then... Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me. Back in the cell, I'd torn the bed sheets into strips and tied them together to make a rope. It was sloppy, but it got the job done. All right, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time.
Oh good, we're not climbing the rope.
Right!
Wait a sec. Something was off. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered.
I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left.
What? You're telling me you opened that door?
That's what I said!
Then what the hell are you doing here?
We couldn't go with them.
Why not?
Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door...
He was in the middle of explaining when...
Yeah, maybe we don't explain this right now. Maybe we move on. Yeah.
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
The wall shook a bit from the voice bouncing around.
Look, that can wait, all right? Just get us out of here!
Right! I grabbed onto the rope. First one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie. A boy in a jacket came after. He said he'd climb up on his own. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when he was almost to me, we heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face was staring in.
God damn it! What's going on here? Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking kids?
door opened, and a man stepped in looking half mad with fury. I recognized his face. I saw him many times in photos during my investigation. The man's name was Gintaro Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Man, they probably could have replaced all of the kids with mannequins, maybe.
Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. Yeah! It was like he was an animal. He lunged for the rope. Hurry!
I know!
The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope.
You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit!
15 feet. 10. The second I could
This
reach
is-
the kid, I grabbed him.
And because he's face blind, that's why he wouldn't have recognized Santa.
I hauled him up and tossed him into the duct behind me.
No! No!
Hongo had lost it. His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face. He was really a terrifying devil or some kind of damn monster.
Okay, again, not really
Quickly
important
reeled
details.
in the rope, leaving a furious Hongo yelling at me from the floor.
You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you compromise this experiment!
Experiment? What experiment?
There we go. Yep. Karma.
Incineration will begin in 1 minute.
Hey, old man! What the hell are you doing? Hurry up!
The boy in the uniform was trying to get my attention. I may have thrown a salute in the raging asshole's face before I closed the door behind him.
We all know what
Going
kind of
back
salute
in the
that
cell,
was.
So we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down. Everybody nodded and took turns sliding down it. The duct emptied us out into a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door. But the one on the right was familiar. It had black and yellow stripes, and a device next to it on the wall. A plate on it read, Incinerator. Incinerator?
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was the girl with the red tie who answered me. We were inside an incinerator?
What did you think the incineration warning was for? God.
Yeah, Hongo
I
might
think a
still
detective
be
would be
there.
able to deduct
Looks
things
like it's
better.
been shut off, though.
Wait, what? If he's still in there,
Yeah, that's not good.
that meant we better. We gotta get out of here. Go to the other door, hurry! The kids started running, and I was close on their heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! Didn't need to tell them twice. We went up and up and up. Our feet pounded the steps, our arms pumping fast. We went round and round and round. The devil was on our tail. The stairway kept
Okay.
going. We passed a couple of landings when the boy in the uniform suddenly spoke.
Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us.
Akane?
My kid sister. The girl with the red necktie.
Akane. That's strange. I didn't remember seeing that name on the list of missing kids.
Hey! Akane!
He kept his hands around his mouth and yelled.
Nobody answered him.
Maybe we outran her.
The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too, and so did the other two kids. When did we do that?
Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them?
No, that's impossible.
Sorry, Grandpa. You keep going. I gotta go look for her downstairs.
He turned to go.
Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I said wait!
I don't think the kid even heard me. Fuck! I spun around to the boy
Alright,
in
back
the
down the
jacket,
stairs again.
The girl with the ponytail.
I'm going after him. You two keep going, all right? You got it?
The girl nodded and ran up the stairs. But the boy...
I'm going with you.
I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs. I could hear him following me. We ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for her. Akane was nowhere to be found.
God damn it, where the hell did she go?
I could tell the kid was frustrated. And then suddenly...
Help me! Somebody help me!
we heard a girl's voice.
Akane!
The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the incinerator. We rushed in after him. I couldn't for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That bastard Hongo had Akane by the arm and was forcing her into the incinerator.
Come on, goddammit, move!
Yeah, lovely gentleman him.
No, I don't want to! Let me go, please!
She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away. But Hongo was bigger and stronger. She wasn't gonna win. My brother roared with anger and charged toward Hongo.
Help me!
Ah! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her, still fighting him, into the incinerator.
Those teeth are definitely something.
Before we could even blink, Hongo had leapt through the door after her. We saw him land inside.
That's commitment to
And then, the door slammed shut.
your experiment.
We ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing open. But
Ah! Fuck! It's no use! The goddamn thing won't move an inch!
he started slamming his fists against the door. He was close to shattering his knuckles with how hard he pounded on it.
Ow. Just a lot of ow.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
You came back!
Her voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror in it.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here.
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door.
What?
Oh, of course he did. Why would he want to burn alive for his experiments?
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been
Here we go again.
acknowledged.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's the same damn thing.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, alright? We're gonna figure out a way to save you.
You know,
His words would have seemed like a sick joke to her if she'd been able
we
to
could
see
try
how
the
white
vents
and
again.
bloodless his face was right then.
we know there's one that goes right there. We can probably climb up the slanty one. Alright.
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Please help me! I'm really scared. I don't want to die, please. I don't want to die.
It's gonna be alright. I'll figure something out. I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise.
It'll take me 9 years, but I'll figure out a way to
It
save
was torture listening to her sobbing on the other side of the door. Her brother was nearly crying himself. He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white.
Alright, can we get to our version of the incinerator, please?
What happened then?
Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that?
Then...
Yeah. Shit. If I'd known it was gonna be like this, I almost wish I hadn't remembered.
Hey, are you sure?
Huh?
Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl, Akane, really...
Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended, and we heard something... burning. The fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up anymore. A few minutes passed. The door opened.
Oh, goody.
The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet running in. We followed, too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made my lungs feel like they were on fire. It was like standing on hot asphalt.
Why does a ship
The air
need
was
this
wavering
big of an incinerator?
And in the middle of the room, there it lay. The kid's legs were shaking so bad, I don't know how he managed to walk. I couldn't see his face, but his body somehow looked empty. Finally, he reached it. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then...
Scream. There we go. Scream.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Are you gonna be a coward this time?
What's that?
Okay.
The girl, Akane. What was her last name?
What does it matter to you?
Just tell me, okay? Please?
Kurashiki.
Heh.
Her name was Akane Kurashiki.
Yup. We've been wandering around with someone who's dead.
You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You are correct, Detective. Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago.
No, Arjun is not actually an imposter. It's way weirder. Way weirder.
So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right?
Of course not.
Clover, what about you?
Hey, come on! You really think I'm working with Zero? I told you before, you idiot! I was in Nevada, in Building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you.
Well, I guess I believe you.
You're not exactly dressed like a detective. You're dressed like a dock worker. Yeah.
All right, let me ask you another
It's okay to
question.
be confused right now. We'll get through that.
Santa's
Maybe.
real name is Aoi Kurashiki. He's Akane's brother. You know that?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Well, yes. I know Aoi Kurashiki was her brother, but I didn't know he was Santa. At least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Aoi.
When did you figure it out?
Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. It was only a short while ago, while we were leaving the library. When she told me that, I had a feeling.
A hunch.
Santa is Aoi, Akane Kurashiki, June's brother? There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like, a lot.
Like, for one thing, who's the June we've been running around with? Who's the June that, Santa kidnapped,
But there is one thing I think we can say we know.
What's that?
The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake.
That's the one takeaway we have from this.
What?
Come on, man, what kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already?
Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, all right? Cut me some slack.
Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too. So why did these murders take place?
If Junpei is correct, and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonary Project.
Karma.
Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project.
You mean this was all just revenge? Santa is Zero. He's getting revenge for the death of his sister.
Well, if it was that simple, no one else would need to be involved.
That's why he killed them.
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone. If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
The person who planned the Nonary Project.
In other words, Ace.
What?
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have been having this really long conversation when we had like half an hour
Must be 6 a.m. Our time is up.
Shit! Come on, we need to get out of here.
How?
Key card.
I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go.
All right, guys. Yes, thank you. Oh my god. All right, let's swipe this card.
Junpei, look! It's unlocked!
Yeah. Now we can go back to the library. Hurry up, Junpei. We don't have time. Let's go. Yes. Let's go. Please, let's go. Let's go faster. Let's go faster, people.
Huh. I think the shaking stopped.
It would seem so, but we are yet to be out of danger.
You're right. Let's hurry.
This exit needs the Uranus card, too. Hey, Junpei.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, good. You're not making me do all this nonsense.
It's open. Let's go. Okay, Neptune Key. Let's see if you work.
Why would it not work?
Yes! I think
Yeah,
it unlocked.
that was an exposition dump, you know.
It says incinerator. So this is the incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door.
Yeah, right here.
Pull that and the door should open.
Got it.
There we go. There's the door. We're gonna go in.
Let's go.
We have one more puzzle to solve and a little bit more exposition, and then we can be done. Oh, this looks like it's going well.
What the hell is going on? What's wrong? Are you okay?
Jumpy, you came to get me.
Of course I did. I made a promise.
I'm so glad you're here. So glad.
Hey, what happened to you?
I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Huh.
Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Oh, I'm not dead or anything, I promise.
You shouldn't worry about me.
Santa.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun.
What? Who took it?
What? Isn't that obvious?
I took the gun.
Yeah.
Ace.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals?
You have me at a disadvantage. And I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
No. Wealthy head of a pharmaceutical company? No, I really don't think I understand your pain at all.
The pain of prosopagnosia, right?
Oh, well,
Another
that minor
irritating
detail.
insect. And how do you know that?
Good question.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go. First is 1. Give me your hand. 8. And with this, 9.
The ninth man. Kubota's bracelet.
I believe I've won this game.
Oh, well.
I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is. What the hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait! What? Why isn't it opening? One more time. Now open! No! What is this? Why? That digital route should be 9! It has to be 9!
Is that actually a Q?
Then why? Why isn't it opening? Now!
Yeah, it's always tough when you make your big villain exit speech and then your escape route doesn't work. It's probably not a 9. Yeah.
Oh, that was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven.
Don't mention it. Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat.
How did they not lock him up after 9 years ago? Good lawyers?
9 years ago? Then you must be...
Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass.
Okay, that's all nice and well and good, but we are all still stuck in an incinerator. We should probably take care of that right now, yeah?
You killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
Oh, right. You don't know yet. All right. We'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the Nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital root.
Yep.
Which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank?
Which, technically, if, you know, since they're the quote-unquote bad guys, if you were Zero, you'd put a bomb in them, but nobody else. And then this test would still come out as a true test, but
You
still,
convinced him to break the rules so you could see
not
what
put
would
anyone
happen.
really in danger. That's important, anyway. Shouldn't be suffering under the rules of karma.
That was why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed.
Yeah, another person goes kablammy.
And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
And you mean to say... Snake is still alive?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man. But I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me...
I still hate you very much.
I wouldn't blame you.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
I handed it to you, and you left the room. You had been in charge of the
That
notary
one was a little
project.
unclear, that he took the watch and left, but...
Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle, which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took, and then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest?
Oh, that's how we got the pocket watch back.
You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote. But that wasn't really what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket.
Axes are very dangerous.
It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate. But what made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace, Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it. But why?
Because of this.
What's with the paper?
Just read it.
Let's see. Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past.
Oh, well, we all know he doesn't think he had any sins, so of course the second one wouldn't be.
I've prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world.
So, did it record him
Simply look into the camera
in the chesting
and
the other guy?
repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release
No,
you
I guess
from
the
this
camera was
ship.
facing the door.
To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. Zero.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first.
Yep.
That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
As the only person who apparently solves any puzzles in this entire game.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him.
Yeah, you didn't think that was weird. Just like, oh no, he's blind, so he's confused and disoriented out the gate. Yeah.
But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Okay, thank you for
Ace,
confessing all your crimes.
You figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet, in many ways.
I mean, you made the choices, man. Now you don't get to blame that on anybody else. You made your choices.
Everywhere I went,
all you had
everything
to
was
do
already prepared.
Was confess.
The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap.
I mean, all you really had to do was confess instead, but okay.
But
sure.
yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Yeah, not quite
right. What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right?
Yeah, I mean, he could have just not done anything. Right? He could have left fine. But no, he was so afraid that somebody was gonna turn on him that he was like, oh no, I must kill everybody. Yeah.
After all, the person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
What?
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this.
Uh-huh.
All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose.
Yeah, you know, it was a purpose. But
There's
not the
another
only
reason you guys were playing the nonary game. To save someone.
Save someone?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister, to save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw... What? What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki? Ugh! Oh, my head!
Huh.
My head, it feels like it's
Memories
gonna
being
pop.
rewritten?
Seven! What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I just... Oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode!
What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon?
And we're saying that phenomena doesn't matter about time.
For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with the receivers, like me.
Shoddy experiment running.
Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into 2 branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but it never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. But the people, information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet, but I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where did she go? June. No, Akane. Where did you go?
Santa!
Why is Clover... Oh, shit.
Freeze.
Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up.
Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but...
Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens.
Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
You mean we're trapped?
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
Cue incinerator.
No. No, you can't be serious.
Oh, but he is. Shit. We've got to do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, all right, we can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh? Aw, man. She doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see.
What?
And there's no other way?
Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
Lotus.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
Without... If you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Bad?
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but...
But the door didn't open with 9.
I was able to guess what he
Yes,
was
we
attempting
can't get
to do
rid of our
earlier
scantily
at the
clad
Red.
dancer lady.
Oh, yeah.
No! What is this? Why?
Yeah, so the door's not a 9.
The digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that is what I said.
Yes, we'll all authenticate. We also have a 6 bracelet. I don't know if, you know, people have realized that.
You were right.
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
Have you all tried scanning it and just hoping that everyone can leave the room?
You think maybe they
worth a
changed
shot.
the settings?
Perhaps.
Shit. If we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end.
I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him, and we became one. Inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind, 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in two realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as two movies showing on the same screen, at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them, and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
That was my brother Aoi. He was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It has been 2 hours since the Nonary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello? Everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
Oh, so that's actually legitimately her name. That is a great code name. No one would ever guess your code name is your real name.
As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me. And I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover.
Well,
for their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way.
Ah, there's the clovers coming back
Did you
around.
know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Now, don't ever forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel.
You can say it says Akane Vision. Up in the corner, it's kind of hiding, but it's there.
For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was only the one. But if there was only one door, That meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors.
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already,
Warning. Warning. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
my brother and I swallowed hard and answered,
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened, and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him Seven.
Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like Seven had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by Seven. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator, and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother, Oi, Snake, and Seven. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized...
Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
I knew I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They'd stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me, up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom...
Yep.
The door to the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then, suddenly...
Akane!
The door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo.
You came back!
I cried out. But then...
Ah! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. Ah! The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fist clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all, and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the 2 other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Then it started again.
Warning. Warning.
There we go.
Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged. Incineration will begin in 18 minutes.
And we're back to
Please
Junpei.
evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Holy shit! Man, I knew what it was gonna say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice.
I knew it!
It's starting.
Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
That probably haunts people's nightmares.
What the hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now.
Oh, thank you, Junpei. Yeah, we're not gonna spend, 30 minutes of our 18 explaining the whole story up till now.
I promise. I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Yeah, really not the time.
You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn!
what kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means.
Well,
God damn it! Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. Y'all just didn't wait long enough, apparently. Huh. What else can I say about it, but...
What the hell is that?
What is that?
What else could I say? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on this screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, all right? Everything's gonna be okay. Ugh, man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
All right, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
Yeah. Hey, we're all tense, lady, but that doesn't mean you get to shove people around.
Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Oh, hey. Huh, well, at least it's on its own now. What's on the screen, though?
What is this?
What's up?
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered around across a 5x5 grid.
Do you think
Numbers
that
range
if we
from 1 to
solve
8.
this puzzle,
the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
All right, puzzle. How do you work? Oh, man, that goddamn voice again.
Incineration will begin
Tune that
in
out, Junpei.
13 minutes.
Shit, 13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop.
My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face, a frightening, evil face.
It is terrifying.
It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me?
Don't know what to do?
He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled.
It's simple, really. But I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine.
His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears.
you're a terrible person! I hate you!
Oh my! How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person?
That's not a gentleman.
That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty. You see? I've even left you a way out.
A way out?
Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator.
I mean, that is an option.
What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well just die now.
My goodness, haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you, I'm a fair man.
Fair is fair.
Huh?
If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape.
The verification function of the red?
Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
Ah, so you do remember. Right now there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1, and the second is 3. Say, Akane, what's your number?
I looked down at my left hand. The face on my bracelet showed a 5. 1 + 3 + 5 is a 9. I ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel.
You really aren't one for listening, are you?
I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room.
I've already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of fool are you?
Why are you doing this?
You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys. Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle.
Still don't really see how this helps him solve that problem, but okay.
I can't! I don't know how!
Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenetic field and find the solution.
I can't!
Then you'll die. You'll burn alive.
She's the transmitter, right?
I imagine it will be very painful.
All right.
His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it.
Incineration will begin in 10 minutes.
All right. Solve it faster. Well, let's go. I'd like to actually see the puzzle, please.
I was crying, gulping sobs broke by hiccups that shook my body. was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow, I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the monitor.
I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out.
What was I going to do? I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was going to die. My palms were sweating and my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll jump he had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed.
Help me! Jumpy! Help me! Help me! Help me! Jumpy! 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 Please! Help me!
All right.
Jumpy!
Akane?
Akane?
Who the hell is Akane?
Shut up! Just shut the hell up!
Seven and Lotus don't understand. I think Clover and Snake have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me, and I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Yeah, they knew each other. They were childhood friends. Presumably until she was kidnapped. And he just was like, oh, she disappeared one day. Probably went to another school. Oh, well. My childhood crush is gone. Ugh, damn it. Where'd she go? Maybe over here.
Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something!
Well, Santa recreated all of this as a way to save Akane. Well, I think it was Akane. It's a little weird, but she prompted Santa because he's talking about being an assistant. She prompted him to set everything up, and that's why all the people here on this team are here. They're all kind of related to it. And he's the stand-in for her because she could connect to him, basically. Fuck. Did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her. Yeah, Akane's possible future self told him what to do. Yeah.
Akane!
Shit.
Answer me! Akane!
That's a much better way of putting it. I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course. But I'd heard it so clearly. Like he was right there.
Jumpy!
I screamed as loud as I could.
Akane!
Jumpy!
That's her. She's there.
Then, that means...
Akane! Akane!
Are you in an incinerator right now?
Yes, I am! How did you know?
Yes. That's, yeah. Brains.
I couldn't believe that he knew that.
Now I understand what Santa meant.
Right. There's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
I think I get it now.
Incineration will begin in...
Shut up, voice!
7 minutes.
Jumpy, we don't have time!
As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator.
I think it's like a resonance thing where she could connect to him, but because they were good friends and she really liked him and all that stuff, but she couldn't connect to Snake because she literally only knew him from the ship.
Got it!
And I do. I get everything now. At last, I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the Nonary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't believe it, but there's only one possible answer. Zero is Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. No, she's trying to save herself right now. Ow, brain. That means there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki.
I must save her no matter what. Alright, maybe we should get on the puzzle solving instead of the running around screaming random things like a crazy person.
6 minutes.
The voice reminded me of how much time I had left.
Yeah, I know. Just hang on, all right? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise.
Can you imagine how this looks to everyone else in the room? He's just like screaming madly to himself.
So don't worry, all right? Just give me a few minutes, okay?
Okay. My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. I felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him.
All right, time to get to work, Junpei. Yeah, you've spent more than half your time running around in circles screaming like a crazy person, so let's move on. A snake talking to them about something? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way.
Hey, what are you...
Just trust me, okay?
Sorry, Lotus, I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I'll apologize later, all right? Now, let's have a look at this thing. We've got numbers all over this grid. I think the panels are out of order, so I just need to switch these out. Staring at this isn't going to accomplish anything. I'll just have to try it.
Think of what I did all those times before. I'm gonna do this on my own, with my own mind. I'm gonna solve this problem.
Am I? Okay. Your hint makes no sense to me. What is your hint doing?
Numbers appeared in the empty spots on the grid. They're all single digits. I get the feeling the numbers change when I switch out the yellow squares. But this square at the bottom...
Oh, they're all 9s.
Why does it stay blank when I press hint?
Oh, because we're spelling... something. We're spelling something. What are we spelling? Well, anyway. We know that's a 1. And that has to be an 8. Oh, God. I don't remember this one. I'm just gonna look at this one. See if I can find a hint. Okay. Okay. It's actually... We're making the word password. That's what all the letters are. And then it all makes 9s if you do this. There we go. Yes, the bird is just password. Yep, you got it. Password? No. Oh, the password is 9. Oh, it's the...
Yes, that's it. Akane, did you get it?
Whatever number.
Yes, I did! I solved it! I mean, really, you solved it for me, but I copied everything
That's
you
true.
did!
They were puzzles designed for a bunch of terrified children to solve, but sometimes my brain doesn't
Now
function,
I just have to press enter!
you know, well enough to put the shapes in the right shape holes.
Then what the hell are you waiting for? Push it!
Okay, I will!
I hit the enter key.
Emergency shutdown command has been confirmed. Incineration system has been disabled.
Oh, thank God. There we go. Solved it.
Ah! Jumpy! It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked!
Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him, but they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I had left disappeared, and I collapsed to the floor. For a while, I just lay there, laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst.
So this is what 7 was having his memories rewritten over. I can't quite believe I did that. But I am so glad. So glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. Are we done? No, I don't have time to be thinking about that kind of shit. I need to tell Akane.
Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay?
I'm gonna have to hang up my space line. It's fine.
Oh, of course, that's fine.
I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were the 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind.
Alright, scan them, go.
Now.
Well, 7 and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your lives, guys.
Junpei, are you...
Okay.
Shut it.
Right. Okay, so maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. Yeah, it used the DS dual screen thing. But now, because I only have one screen, it's one screen. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? All right, nothing holding me back now. Here goes. Wait.
Incineration will begin in 90 seconds.
It doesn't sound like it's stopping.
What the shit? Why isn't it stopping?
Okay, maybe I didn't hit the key hard enough. Just hit it again. And again. And again. Okay, that's not working either. The alarm's still going off. What the hell is going on? I've got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect. So, why the fuck isn't this thing stopping?
Incineration will begin in 60 seconds.
Maybe the scanner works now? Have we considered that? Wait, of course. 8. That's what the numbers that showed up after the puzzle mean. That door is an 8 door. Snake, Clover, me, 7, and Lotus. Then, door 9. No, that's it. The number on the door isn't a 9. It's not even a number.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that...
Holy shit. Of course. We just have to put the right number into the red and...
Incineration will begin in 30 seconds.
Run, guys! Get to the door! Run!
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Don't have much time. Man, I sure hope they can just trust me on this one, or we are all fucked. Alright, no time to explain. Just go.
Quick! Verify your numbers on the red!
Verify?
Who?
What combination?
All of us! We all need to verify!
Why?
You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it!
I mean, what would have happened if they had all tried to verify and open the door already? Would it just not have worked until they solved the puzzle? Hurry, 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 hurry!
Incineration will begin in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled.
Oh, there we go. Oh, thank fucking Christ. No, no time to be happy. Time to go.
Hurry! We've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go, go, go!
Come on, guys, move it. Okay, they're all through. Move it, Junpei. Just in time. And we saw the dead was right on the outside of the door. And there goes the door. No, don't calm down yet. You're not done. We've still got to find the dead. Conveniently co-located by the door. Everyone breathe.
Shit. Looks like we made it, huh?
Man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. Snake is shaking his head wearily. I just want to take a nap, but...
Akane? Akane! Can you hear me?
Akane!
I want to tell her we made it. I want to tell her how good I feel, but nothing. Okay. Let's go. We're this close. We're this close, game.
The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother.
Akane!
Oi! I cried his name even though my voice was almost gone from screaming and leapt into his arms.
Oh, oi!
Akane!
I buried my face in his chest and cried again. And cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what had seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever. But I couldn't. The moment I'd passed through the door, my bracelets had begun the countdown to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a moment to get to and scan all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. That was it. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective we'd called Seven in 9 years and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open.
All right, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again.
Aoi was right. It was time we got moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar Seven and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiraling stairs to freedom.
Run. Time for more running. But if they can get us out of here. No wonder we're running so hard. My heart's beating so hard I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. Huh? Is Seven talking?
Hey, Junpei, can I ask you something?
What's up?
That door, the one with the 9 on it. Why'd it open?
Yeah, all 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. That makes our digital route 8. It shouldn't have opened.
That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already.
Huh?
Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases.
Bases?
Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2?
0 and 1.
How about base 10?
That goes from 0 to 9, right?
And how about base 16?
0 through F. After 9, it starts at A and goes from there. B, C, D, etc.
You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on.
So, what about it?
You don't get it? What if we keep going with that pattern? What if you go
to a
way
cube.
past base 16 all the way to base 27?
Base 27?
Yeah.
Well, the numerical digits are the same, so I guess you'd add alphabetical digits. E is 14, F is 15.
H is 17, I is
Alright,
K
we're
is
really gonna
20,
count all the way to Q.
L.
N is 23, O is 20.
Yeah, and? What comes after that?
Q.
26!
And what does that mean?
Wasn't a 9 on the door.
It was a Q!
And it
a
was
fucking lowercase Q!
not an 8, it was a 26.
Yep, that's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27.
Time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. I swear, any moment now, I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell of my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are gonna burst. Maybe just a short rest. No, can't stop. Don't have time. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run. Run like a bullet down a rifled barrel. Like a tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. I feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally. Jesus, I can barely breathe. And no, Junpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together. You're almost there.
All right, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're finally here.
Please do.
Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom.
But even more important than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. You're gonna open, and you're gonna open now. Yeah, they sometimes need to have less stuff in between, like, while you're solving things. It feels a little strange sometimes.
I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Aoi's. He gave it a small, reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace. And not only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped were finally able to escape from the Gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed out across the ocean, and then it was gone.
It's over.
Aoi whispered.
Yeah.
It was over. It was finally over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue.
Yeah, I think that puzzle makes more sense if it's a Q, because Q and 9 are the same sound in Japanese. Q. Yeah. It's definitely a better translation. Or, the translation for that is not as good as it could have been.
To what would happen in 9 years?
Some things get lost in translation.
Yes.
Finally, air. Ah, damn, that sun is bright. Can barely see anything. Huh. I gotta admit, this doesn't look quite like... Wait.
No way.
You have got to be shitting me.
What?
It can't be.
This is...
Nevada.
This is the building in the Nevada desert.
the mock experiment building.
Oh my god. This whole time we were in Building Q.
Sure enough, that's a desert out there with mountains all around it. Hello there, son. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. It does put the submarine ending in a very different light, right? Because that can't be a real submarine. It's just like in a puddle of water. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Right, our bracelets. I guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of one of these. Let's see what's inside of you. Just a little electronic chip, like in an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. There was never a detonator to begin with. Figures.
Akane.
Well, only in the bad people.
Jumpy.
Heh. Guess I must be pretty crazy about the girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. Okay, there's the car. Let's get to the car. Let us leave the Nevada desert. You don't really want to be here any more than you want to be on the open ocean. It's, you know, desert. And hot. I think they do. I think there's a little more after this. But unfortunately, I gotta watch the credits go. To see all of the CGs from the game. Yeah, I think the submarine ending, is kind of the weirdest one out of the bunch when you think about where they are at the end. It's just so bizarre. Junpei doesn't think she's been dead for 9 years. So,
originally he didn't think she was dead. He just thought she moved away. And so then that's why he was fine meeting her here all the way through until he found out that she supposedly died 9 years ago. But then at the end here, he was helping save her life, and so he knew she was still alive. So no, he didn't know she's still alive somewhere. But he didn't know she was dead at all until Seven and Snake told her.
Are you okay?
Oh, come on. This is nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't look okay.
It was just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill, looking down at the town as the sun slowly set.
How does it look then?
He was half serious and half joking. I thought about it for a minute first.
Well, let's see. It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they just kept growing and growing and growing.
What does that even mean?
Junpei grinned and...
Ow.
See? I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't beat 5 8th graders, Jumpy. That's crazy.
Not yet. Give me a few more years.
Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something.
Look at the Nevada desert go past. For an SUV, this thing has a pretty smooth ride. Sure was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building. Keys in the ignition and gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know? Anyway, we jumped in, and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lotus is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are all squeezed into the back seat here. Still can't believe we let her drive.
Woohoo! This is so fun! This is so awesome! Driving is so great when there's nothing around, and there's no speed limit.
Hey, Clover, watch those bumps, all right? This car jumps even a little, and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it. I can't help if I'm big, all right? Suck it up.
Yeah, exactly, Bungie.
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license.
Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat.
Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up.
Nope.
And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and June are in should be somewhere down this road ahead of us.
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Then we've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we?
Sure thing.
Oh, shit. God damn it, she doesn't even have to drive so fast. Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. For sure throwing up a lot of dust.
It was a couple of hours after we'd run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kitten in gasoline. The moment we saw what they were doing, Jumpy ran up to them, furious.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could.
Help me! Officer, please! You have to come with me!
The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Jumpy, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big, swelling lumps.
You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me?
I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through the hole in his mouth where a tooth had fallen out.
Yeah, I guess I coulda.
Then why didn't you?
I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up. Beat him up real good.
Because of what they were doing to the kitty.
Yep, yeah, I'm with you, Bungie. I totally would too.
Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester. Remember?
Oh, you mean the bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies.
He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind.
They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And then they said they'd do the same thing to you that they did to the rabbits. I couldn't forgive them for that, so I... Hey, there's still some stuff I don't get.
Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do.
Like Ace. Well, I guess I should say Gentaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary Project? Anybody? Any ideas?
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
He's still in the trunk, I assume?
Yeah, he is. Still tied up, I'm assuming, with his mouth taped shut. His eyes just look empty. No emotion. He looks like he's just given up. I wonder if he even cares what happens to him anymore.
Hey, were you listening to us?
Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get that tape off your mouth.
Come on, I know you were. Answer me.
You could at least look at me when you talk, man.
I only wanted to see the faces. Human faces. I thought if I could gain the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces. By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others.
That's it?
Yes. If you want to put it simply,
I feel like he had that also mixed with a
you are
bit
looking
of
for a more philosophical
psychopathy.
answer, I could supply that as well.
Disconnect from, like, the emotions.
You see, the human collective consciousness...
Okay, tape again. Yep. I think that's enough out of you, pal. Time for the tape to go back on.
All right. So what's your second question?
You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you?
Well, somebody's a little nosy.
Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that?
Well, see, 9 years ago, after I escaped from the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own. I wanted to catch him when he finally slipped up. During the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Bourdain and Alice.
You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature?
Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine, I'll let you talk, but you gotta behave.
What?
Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was a member of the genus Mandragora
Mandrake.
of the family Solanaceae, and was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it.
And make your famous, drug?
I used that extract to create Soporin. Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly.
Okay. Shit, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's going back on, Hongo. The rest of my questions can wait a bit. For now, I think I'll just enjoy the ride.
Here, this is for you.
What's this?
This is, for you, doll. His name is Junpei.
Jumpy pulled something out of his pocket and shoved out his arm toward me. In his hand was a doll made of yarn, small enough to fit in his palm.
Jumpy, are you sure it's, for you, doll?
Huh? Yeah, the lady at the shop said so, so that means it's for you, right?
Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll?
Wait, what? That's...
It could be like one of the yarn
Oh, man.
guys from,
what are those games? They're super cute.
Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right?
Yeah, I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea then.
Unravel, yes, that.
Why are you giving me this anyway? It just seems really sudden.
Well, you know how after June, we aren't gonna get to see each other too much? I mean, we're gonna be in different schools, and...
I guess she was already moving away, maybe because their parents died or something. But she was already moving away, and so he wouldn't have known when she
I just
disappeared.
thought I'd, you know,
Oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then?
Okay. So, I wanted to give you this.
Junpei gone through puberty already there at the age of 10.
You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie.
Yes. I, head of tribe. This doll, traditional charm of tribe. So I give this, it me. So we always together.
Oh, Jumpy.
If something bad, then hold and pray. I go wherever you are. So here, take.
I reached my hand out and picked up the doll gently.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell onto June's tiny yarn body.
Oh, Jumpy. I'll never forget you. I promise.
Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words.
I'll never forget you either.
The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down toward the horizon.
That's a bad sign. That's a sign of pollution.
The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat, bathed in the warm light of evening, just the 2 of us, leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. The sun set, and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened, and one by one, the lights of the town began to flicker on.
Well, at least Hammond, at least the voodoo doll isn't being misused in a terrible, terrible way for some really dumb kind of fake voodoo stuff. Like a total misinterpretation of it. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, I guess they just... I guess it's probably sold as probably was a tourist thing and it had gone through multiple translations, so... There's still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned, and also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in the incinerator on the Gigantic, but she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the Morphic field set and saved her 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then how do I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense. He's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Or wait, maybe that's not it at all. There is one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No. No way. He couldn't.
Hey, look! Over there. There's somebody next to the road.
Huh? What?
I don't think we have space in the car for another person. Also, why? I bet she's going to Vegas, right? The burning gaze of the Nevada sun pounded down on her head. The desert around her rippled with heat. Standing there, on that shimmering plain, was a woman, her arm out and her thumb up. It would not be long before Junpei realized who she was. There we go. Don't forget your towel. So that's the true ending of 99999. That's all the endings. Yeah, it went a little bonkers there at the end. Oh, who they just picked up? She's supposed to be the Egyptian mummy, I guess. But also she could totally just be somebody dressed up. I guess it could have been Akane. I just assumed she was somebody... Like, Akane was supposed to be with Santa, right? But, we'll see. There actually is somebody that kind of looks like that in Virtue's Last Reward. But I thought she's just somebody maybe on her way to Bungie. But, on her way to Bungie. On her way to Vegas. God, I can't read chat. Sorry. Either way, there is somebody that looks like our lovely Alice in Virtue's Last Reward. So we'll see that later. But that is the entirety. So, thank you very much for joining me for this. And I think next Sunday we'll start with Virtue's Last Reward, and that one, I actually haven't seen the end of that one yet. I was about halfway through it, so we'll figure that one out when we get there. But for now, thank you. It is late, and have a good week, guys. I hope it goes well for you. Oh, yeah, thanks. We'll see if I get the part or not, but I just was putting in an audition. Oh, yeah, so you looked up who the hitchhiker was? I think I looked that up at one point as well. It's Alice, and then isn't she in Virtue's Last Reward? Because I think I looked that up once, and that was why I went and got Virtue's Last Reward. Yeah. Okay, cool. So there's the connection. So I thought it wasn't crazy. But I hope you all have a good night, and catch you guys around. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.